Hey, what up, everybody? It's Yellow TV, and it is Thursday. So you know what I'm bringing you? The 5th installment of Throwback Thursdays. I do have to admit, though, this video is more of a focus on the channel itself. So this throwback itself is a little bit more recent than the other ones that we're seeing. We'll get back up on the Fantasy Cup throwbacks next week. But this week, we actually have a team built based off of a subscriber request to use the Shadow Muck Pokemon because it's his son's favorite Pokemon in the game. So had to try and figure out how to work it in. And I want to celebrate because we've hit, over 170 subscribers, and we've officially gotten our first video ever to break 1,000 views. And it's only been like maybe a month and a half of this channel posting, so that's some insane hype. And I really appreciate you guys all for the support. Into our first battle, we've got the Shadow Prinplup, which is crazy. Spent so much Stardust on this Pokemon, but I love it. Penguin power all the way. I'm not going to shield this Rock Slide. Well, I guess maybe they have Dig. I don't know why they throw the Rock Slide there. And I'm not messing around. We're throwing the Hydro Pump. If the opponent wants a shield, they've got to give us a shield, or else we get the whole... What is that? I forget the name of the Pokemon. But now, if the opponent throws only an Aqua Tail, like I think they have here, we get to this Icy Wind still. So this Prinplup putting in some absolute work in this first battle here. And now we'll see what the opponent has in the back once we let this Pokemon get farmed down. I don't want to let this get aligned to our Gallade per se, because I really can't farm down. But it's going to be a bit of a tricky farm down anyways with our Muck. But I can tank damage, especially with this debuff. Again, they're throwing Aqua Tail, so I don't really know what the opponent's doing. And then they switch into a Talonflame. So I know that I can get this super effective Thunder Punch damage off. I probably will give up a shield here if the opponent throws. But let's see what they want to do. They do throw, so got to give a shield here. And then once we get some more Poison Jab damage off and get this Thunder Punch off to pull the last shield, we'll be able to just come in, build up a lot of energy with this Gallade, KO with the close combat, and then we can also threaten that Drapion that's in back. So here we go. Gonna have to give a shield once they eventually throw, but they're throwing alignment, so it gives us a whole free Psycho Cut, which I will take because that's more energy for us and less fast move damage that we have to take on their end. And now we can throw this close combat, and then we've got energy stored up for this Drapion that's in back. And we might not even need to throw the close combat. A Leaf Blade is definitely going to be enough here. So yeah, not messing around, getting this Leaf Blade off, and then taking the first dub of this Throwback Thursday, and kind of just overall channel celebration here for the huge milestones. The opponent did look like they force closed their app there, so wasted a little bit of time, but that's okay. That's just how it is sometimes. And then into the next battle. And then, again, in the interest of the whole channel celebration, we've got a bit of a mix-up on the back half of this video. So I don't want to spoil anything now, but I'll let you guys see that when we get to it. Into a Corviknight lead, I'll take this. This is a pretty good lead. Or I guess neutral lead for the Prinplup. I don't know, actually, from like a stat product standpoint, how it goes, but I don't want to mess around. If they're throwing a Sky Attack, I want to shield that and then just get a nice debuff off with this Icy Wind. Could have gone for the Hydro Pump, but I guess I wimped out a little bit here, so that's on me. But let's see if the opponent wants to give us a shield here. We did shield, so they might be inclined to shield, but no, they don't shield, so we should have just full thrown that Hydro Pump. That is such a mistake on our end. I apologize about that, but now we can get 2 debuffs off here. The opponent now gives us a shield. This is a tricky Pokemon to deal with because we can't really do any fast move pressure with our backline Pokemon. So I'm hoping that we do comfortably live this move here, get to another Icy Wind, and hopefully we don't have to deal with this Corviknight with our backline Pokemon. That would be huge for the program. And they let it go, but in comes, what is this, a Primate, and that is really dangerous for us because if they get an energy lead, they could really threaten our entire team. So they hot swap out, but it's a Toxapex in back, and I will take that. Muck in general, pretty difficult to run with this cup because it's so full of Mud Slappers and ground types. But this matchup here, I love because we can resist their fast move damage, not really resist the Brine, but it doesn't do all that much. Muck is like a little bit bulky, and then we can do super effective Thunder Punch damage with them. So now the opponent's going to be forced into making a decision here, and they do make the decision. They do not give the last shield to their, Toxapex. And they do make the right decision of just throwing pretty quickly. I was trying to swap out and make a catch there, but they didn't let us get that off. So now it's up to the Gallade to come in, farm up a ton, and try to make a catch ourselves once this opponent decides to throw their Rage Fist. I don't know if we'll be able to pull that off, but let's see here. I'm just going to keep building. I don't want to throw. I want to just catch. And there we go. Bam. That is huge. An amazing catch. That wins us this game. Now the opponent cannot outpace us to the 2 moves that they'll need, or the move that they'll need to take us out. If they did get to a Rage Fist at this range, for sure, it will take us out. I think technically we can live a Rage Fist if it's at like 100% HP, but we're well below that now. A Rage Fist would have taken us out, but because of that catch, we're able to outpace, and that is huge for us. And now into the third battle here. Let's see what the opponents have. Again, like I said, Muck was pretty tricky for like just this kind of open Great League format in general. And this Pokemon here, Corsola, not great for our backline. So I'm really happy that we see it here on the lead. Shadow Prinplup, again, putting in some monumental work. It's a mid-stage evolution. That makes it even more fun. But one thing that I really wanted to use it for is because it doesn't actually have that steel subtyping that the Empoleon has. So it's not as weak to fighting as Empoleon is. And so I know that we got this debuff off. Now I'm happy with just letting the Prinplup go down, not shielding that move. Come in with the Muck and see what the opponent wants to do. If they throw, I might give them a shield, but nope, definitely not going to give them a shield. But they're debuffed, so it's not going to be too threatening. But Nightshade does hit pretty hard, so even still, that did so much health. Now I might, if they give us a shield here, we'll probably just farm all the way down, but let's see what the opponent wants to do. Yeah, they give us a shield, so I'm going to give them a shield back, and then just farm all the way down. See what the opponent has in back, and then maybe do like a hot swap into Gallade if need be. But now we've got an energy advantage on our Muck. And then there's a Mud Slapper. Again, like I mentioned, the meta is crawling with these Pokemon, but now we've got a shield on our Gallade, and we got out of there pretty quick. So I don't think they'll be able to outpace us to the damage they need. And yeah, I think they know that. So they didn't give them shields here. And now there's a Carbink, which is pretty tricky for us. It's such a bulky Pokemon. But we've got enough HP left on our Gallade to where I think we can outpace to 3 moves before they can fully farm us down. So let's see what we can do here. They're just going for the fast move beatdown, which is the correct decision. They've got to outpace with fast move damage before we build up 3 whole moves. And we make it. We even get to close combat here, which is definitely going to take out this Carbink. And if we didn't take it out here, we still have that Thunder Punch banked on the Muck in back. So that's huge. Another win for us. I'll take that. And then, yeah, general disclaimer. This is Throwback Thursday, right? So these are more like highlight reels than like a full set-for-set progression. So I would not use these videos as any sort of like an influence for any sort of climbing advice. But into an interesting lead here, Malamar in general, I feel like just kind of always breaks my team comps a little bit. But it's a neutral matchup into the Prinplup. I'm probably going to shield here, yeah, so I can get this debuff off. And then more comfortably tank whatever their next move is that comes in. But let's see what the opponent wants to do. They probably do have ice types in the back, if I had to guess. Maybe like a Dugong or an Azumarill. So want to make sure I can kind of deal with this Malamar, but not give up too many resources here because I'm going to need those shields for the back line. But now we can live this. Barely though, holy cow. I thought Prinplup would have like a little bit more bulk than it does, but that's still fine. Get another move off. Now they're in like a really manageable range for our backline Pokemon. Gonna come up with the Muck, get this farm down. Farming down with Psycho Cut on the Gallade would be impossible. And now they've got a Diggersby, which is brutal. Oh, I guess they didn't have ice types. They've got a, what is this, a Bibarel in back, and then a Diggersby in back, so 2 normal types. We can handily deal with this with our Gallade, but we've got to be careful with that Diggersby in back, because some Diggersby, depending on how XL they are, can actually tank a close combat from our Gallade, which I find to be a little bit ridiculous, but it is what it is. Bulk is the name of the game in this Pokemon, like, Go Battle League. And then if we do have a Diggersby that's a little bit like that, we can maybe come in here and deal with them with the HP that we have on the Muck. But not an XL Diggersby. I'll take that. We get the one shot, and so we've got another win under our belt for this video. And then, yeah, into the next video, what's the ELO that we're sitting at? Like, yeah, less than 2100, so definitely not super competitive. Like I said, running Muck was a little bit of a challenge because of how much Mud Slap there is in this meta. Very neutral lead for us right now with this Feraligatr. So we might full send a beam, or not a beam, but a Hydro Pump in this video, or in this matchup. But that Hydro Cannon with the Shadow Claw is very threatening for us. And here we go, full beam time. Let's see if the opponent respects the damage. Oh, and they do. That's so brutal. And now we're in a really tricky spot because they could farm us all the way down, but we get to the Icy Wind at the very last second. We hang on with like 1 HP. That is incredible work from the Prinplup. They don't give us a shield there. I was wondering if they maybe were fearing like another Hydro Pump, but we definitely didn't have nearly enough energy. And now that they're debuffed, I can very comfortably tank this 1 Hydro Cannon. I cannot really tank 2, but we might have to. Nope, we're going to use a shield. That's okay. But now we're even shields, so let's see what the opponent has in back and see how we want to play out of this. Oh, they're waiting this out. They don't know who they want to bring in either. But it's a Talonflame. So again, throw 2 Poison Jabs, throw the Thunder Punch, and we might even need to use a shield here and throw another Thunder Punch. But no, they didn't give us a shield, so I'm not going to give them a shield. We might even get a full farm down. No, we don't get the full farm down, and then we lose the CMP tie. But that's okay, right? I'm expecting them to have like a water type in back that we could probably deal with the Gallade because they have this Talonflame around. But it's a Clodsire, so this is a little bit tricky for us. But we've got a shield, and we've got that 1 Psycho Cut head start, so we might be able to play out of this and end up with a dub. Not looking like it's a Super XL Clodsire, so if we had like a high-ranked Clodsire, I think this would have been like a little bit more of a challenge. But now, and they full throw the Earthquake, which is huge for us, so now they're even farther away from their move, so I can keep building up, build up to a little bit above the back-to-back Leaf Blade. And now, let's see if we can get this move off. We throw the Close Combat because it technically does do a little bit more damage, even though it's resisted because of just how hard it hits, and I knew that that would probably KO based off of what the Leaf Blade was that we threw earlier. And then, yeah, another win, so I'll take that. But yeah, with this Throwback Thursday, this series is generally just me kind of throwing together some old videos that I didn't get uploaded in time, or have saved up from like old cups or seasons even. But this week, we're going to have like a little bit of a mix-up, so hope you guys are excited for that. And then again, interesting lead here with the Malamar. So I don't know how to play out. Oh, this is the one that I was thinking of, so it does have the ice types in back. But I don't want to use my energy here because it's a little bit wasted on the Prinplup into the Dugong. So hot swap into the Gallade, start building up, start throwing some moves, baiting a potential close combat here with a Leaf Blade. Let's see if the opponent wants to respect it and give us a shield. And they do. So now we can build up, throw a close combat if we want to, and we do want to. So now we're forcing the opponent to make a real decision here of giving us the Gallade or giving us the Dugong or using both of their shields. And they use both their shields. We've used both of our shields, though, so now it's a pretty interesting game. Might even need to come in here with the Muck, build up some energy, and then maybe try to make like a potential CMP sack swap on the Prinplup. But they make a catch on us, but it's not even a Zoom rule, so that is crazy. So now, we've got a really good matchup on our hands, but it's a really tricky game because we've got no shields. This is a super bulky Pokemon. I don't think that Thunder Punch would have necessarily KO'd, so I didn't want to throw it. I wanted to save energy on this Muck, try to build up a little bit more, and now come in, throw this resisted Icy Wind, and then see what we can do, because we've got that Malamar to deal with, and we've got that Dugong to deal with. So let's see what the opponent wants to do here, and see which Pokemon they want to come in with. Probably going to come in with the... Oh, no, they come in with the Malamar. I was thinking they're going to come out with the Dugong, but now we can get this Hydro Pump off. Again, huge stab Water-type damage coming in. See you, Malamar. Now it's just us versus the Dugong. And they'll be able to take out this Prinplup here. We've got like almost no HP left on this Mug, so this might actually be a loss here. Almost have 2 Thunder Punches, but not quite, but it doesn't even matter. That Ice Shard that snuck through is going to KO us anyways. And look at this. They live on like 1 HP. That is crazy. So very tricky game. They had really bulky Pokemon on their team. And we got to see that they were really able to just absorb that damage well and come out with the win. So a little bit tricky for us, but I'll take it, right? You got to be able to work through the bulk that your opponent's going to have. And then into another Dunsparce lead. I don't know if I'll play it out the exact same way. It kind of depends on what they throw and like if I'm feeling like they're going to bait or shield or just let it go. So I'm going to let it go here, though, because I know that I can tank the move or the damage is coming in from here. Again, they're throwing a Rock Slide, so I don't know. I think a lot of opponents switched to Dig at one point. Maybe because that extra damage helps with a certain matchup here and there. But I'm not too sure. Throw the Hydro Pump, but this opponent shields it. But again, I'm fine, right? So I can come in here with the Gallade, start farming up a ton, and then we can go from there. This is a great matchup for the Gallade. They will be able to outpace. I might start to respect some damage here because I don't want to like let the Gallade get too low in case they've got some water types in back, and I need to help, or I need the Gallade to deal with it instead of the Muck, especially if it's a Mud Boy. I think I get a little bit greedy here throwing the Leaf Blade. I don't think that this will KO, and it doesn't. That's brutal. So it's a CMP tie. I have to throw this Leaf Blade, and if the opponent wants to get this move off, they've got to give me a shield, and they don't want to do that. So now I've got like a little bit of energy, and they've got a Altaria in back. So I've got to throw this resisted close combat, which is not great, but it is our best move to throw, and then hot swap it on the Muck. I was hoping that maybe they'd stand a little bit so that I could get them into a second close combat range, but it looks like they're just going to be staying in here like completely. So we'll see what the opponent wants to do. They let this Thunder Punch go, and now they've got a Clodsire in back. So again, this is a horrible matchup for the Muck. So let's see how the opponent plays out of this. If they do throw the wrong move on us, it might work out pretty well because we might be able to get a second Dark Pulse off. And this Dark Pulse is pretty nice because it puts them closer to Psycho Cut and Leaf Blade range. And again, yeah, they throw a Sludge Bomb, which is crazy. They probably didn't want to waste all of that energy for an Earthquake, but I don't think they realized how bulky Muck was. So we can definitely live that. They give us a shield for this Dark Pulse, which they technically didn't need to do. But if they didn't shield it, we might have just put them into Psycho Cut down range. And now we can definitely just come in here, build up. I think I'm starting to lose a little bit track of their energy, so I think I get a little bit fearful of how much energy they have. And so we might just build up like a little bit more. We build up to 2 Leaf Blades, and we do see the Poison Sting sneak through. So I know that we can safely get both of these Leaf Blades off, but we didn't even need them. That Leaf Blade KO'd anyway, so that's great. That's a win for us. And then into the next battle. I think, what are we uploading around here? This is a little bit higher elo, so overall, the end of the Great League, we were just like kind of really low, trying out all these funky teams. Interesting lead for us here. Technically a negative lead, but we do have that Icy Wind to threaten them, so I might give up an early shield so that we can more comfortably get off 2 moves. Oh, no, they let us get this move first, so that's incredible for us. And now, they've got to give us a shield or give us this whole Dragon Arrow. They do respect the damage. I don't know if they knew that it would be an Icy Wind. It looked like they might have started thinking about going for a farm down there, but they realized we would have gotten to another move. But no, I'm going to very comfortably let this go and just come in with the Muck and see what the opponent wants to do. If they switch out, they switch out, but looks like they're throwing more energy. I can tank this for sure, and I do end up tanking it, so putting the Mulk's bulk to test here, and I'd probably just throw a Thunder Punch. Oh, gonna keep farming, and then probably throw a Thunder Punch later. Maybe I go for a full farm down here, honestly. I don't know what the opponent's gonna have him back, but having this much energy in a Muck has to be threatening, right? But then they come in with a Dunsparce, which is brutal because this energy doesn't really threaten the Dunsparce, and I'd much rather just be throwing Gallade energy into this. And I throw this move, which ends up also being a mistake too, because a Leaf Blade doesn't even take them out from that range. So I kind of just wasted that Thunder Punch energy. So that's a bit of a brutal mistake on our end. But the opponent gives us a shield, which is crazy. And then they've got a Raichu. So this opponent running some crazy spice. I'll take that. But I think it really, really saved us and let us come out with the win here in this game. Build up to the back-to-back. I think we would have won CMP if the opponent got to another move, but I don't believe that was a CMP tie. Now we've got 2 close combats. So throwing the first and now throwing the second into the Dunsparce to take a win here. And then that Dunsparce, yeah, I think I really just made a huge mistake with throwing that Thunder Punch because it was technically completely unnecessary. But we didn't end up needing any of that extra Muck or energy left over on the Muck. So it worked out for the best. And then here, we're into the official second part of the battle. So Mystic 14 Chem is actually a member of the Shadow Hub and reached out to me and wanted to do some battles. He's also a YouTube content creator. And so we set up these battles, and the only rule was running just crazy spice. So here I've got the Shadow Flygon, the Shadow Prinplup. So Prinplup's sticking around for a little bit, and then I don't actually know what I have him back, but they had a Magneton on lead, so that was a crazy, crazy good matchup for us in the beginning. But this save swap really threw me for a loop. I did not know how I want to play it out, and I also don't want to give them a second shield because all of my Pokemon are pretty glassy, so I don't want to enter the rest of this matchup with like no energy left or no shields left. Oh, but I got the Aerodactyl in back. That's crazy. So I can come in here, very quickly farm down, and then I might hot swap into the Flygon if they come back in with that, what's it called? Magneton. But they come in with the Toxicroak, thinking this kind of a wasted. But then they make a perfect catch on us, which is insane. Huge props to Mystic Chem. And then it does so much damage, though. So I think we get this farm down off before they even get to a move. So again, incredible, incredible matchup with the Flygon into their Magneton. And I was thinking, okay, like I should go for a farm down, but I wanted to kind of see what they had here from a move perspective. And they full sent the Shadow Ball. So I know that we can very comfortably get off both of these moves or farm down, because they just wasted so much energy and we ended up shielding it. Even if they threw a Mud Bomb there, we had to shield it. We were just so low. But yeah, great first matchup. We did a whole set of 5. And I think looking back, I did get very, very lucky with the alignment that I ended up picking. So again, here, they've got a shiny Shadow Cradilly, which I'm super jealous of, but into the channel mascot, the shiny Shadow Machamp. And then they swap into a Blaziken. So I was thinking, okay, get some Karate Chop damage off, and then come in and just fully farm down with our Shadow Banette. So, and they full send a Blast Burn, so now we can very comfortably get this farm down. And if they come back in with that Cradilly, we can very, very heavily threaten them with some pretty hard-hitting Shadow Ball damage. So again, they come in, I throw one Shadow Claw and then the Shadow Ball, and let's see if the opponent wants to give us a shield. They do give us a shield, but I don't know if we'll be able to get to another one. It depends on how early they throw. They built up a little bit too much. We get to the Shadow Ball, and then now we can force both shields, so they give us both shields, so I hot swap into the Machamp, get this KO with the Cross Chop, and now it's 3 versus 1, whatever their back Pokemon is, and it's a Sceptile. So I think I wanted to show them my third Pokemon, because again, this was us just like having a bit of fun. So I do not fully charge this move, and I'm just hoping that they actually do throw this move, and they do. So I don't know. this might technically be perceived as bad manners, but this was like in the spirit of fun, right? So I wanted to show him my third Pokemon, and it's the Shadow Pinsir. So again, very, very great matchup for us on the lead, and then the safe swap we were able to deal with pretty well. So again, I think I got very, very lucky from a team comp perspective. And then again, 3 for 3 on winning lead in our completely random format for Great League. But then they come in with the Shadow Flygon, and that is so tricky for our team. So I'm building up. I don't know what they're going to throw here, but I do know that my Ursaluna cannot tank anything. But they full sent an Earthquake, so I was like, okay, I'll take that. Now they've got a little bit of time before they get to another move, so build up a little bit extra, throw this Swift. This definitely threatens. But then I was thinking, like, maybe they're like double nuke with Stone Edge and Earthquake, so I got a little bit greedy there. But now they get this Dragon Claw off. It doesn't technically KO, but we don't get the Swift off before we go down, so it's a little bit brutal for us. But I've got a second bear in back, so I'll take that. And then now they're coming with their Weeping Bell. I get off this Swift. It's not a nuke move, but it hits pretty dang hard from Ursaluna. Look at that. That's crazy. But it wasn't technically a KO, and I knew that they were at the move, so I hot swap in, catch this double resisted Leaf Bomb on those what is this, Scolipede? And then now they've got no shield, and I've got the Sludge Bomb coming in clutch. No, they do have a shield. What am I saying? But they've only got pretty expensive moves, so they cannot double up before I get to this. Or maybe not in general after the Rock Slide nerf. I'm not too sure. But we end up outpacing to that Swift, and we get another win against Mystic Chem. So these are really, really fun battles. Much more kind of refreshing to run these battles than it was to do like just open league format stuff. And then yeah, here, so we've got Shadow Galvantula, Shadow Kyogre, and Shadow Groudon. So this is a pretty fun team. Horrible, horrible lead for us. So I hot swap immediately out of here. But it turns out they're actually on Snarl, so it wasn't that bad of a lead for us. But they're staying in, so my Groudon might be core breaking their team a little bit. Let's see what they end up having in the back. And we do get this full farm down. Those Shadow Dragon Tails coming from Groudon did so much damage. That's crazy. And then in the back, they've got their own Shadow Galvantula. So we both decided to bring Shadow Galvantula in this battle, and that is just crazy in my head. We get to the first Fire Punch, throw it, they shield it. Get to the second Fire Punch, they throw it, we shield it. And so now I'm thinking I kind of want to save my Groudon, so I hot swap into the Galvantula. I'm building up, and if you guys notice, this is actually a Volt Switch, Energy Ball, and Cross Poison Galvantula. And they throw the launch. I live that on a 1 HP, which is crazy. And then they've got an Infernape in back. So again, like I said, I've got the Shadow Kyogre. This is going to come in here and eat this Pokemon up. That is crazy. 3 waterfalls, and it's done. And then we'll be able to farm down regardless on either of our Pokemon. But I wanted to finish it with the Kyogre, so I do get a shield here. And then they're also on Cross Poison. So we both had crazy, crazy moveset Galvantulas in that game, which is insane, right? We didn't really talk to each other about our teams beforehand. We just kind of dove in. And then, oh my god, I remember this game. Horrible, horrible lead for us. They finally won Switch. And then in comes a Shadow Scizor with Fury Cutter. And this Pokemon beats our whole team. This Pokemon core breaks our entire team comp here. So I'm like, oh my god, panicking, first of all. So I'm like, I get the shield. I don't know what I want to do here. I don't want to shield and let them get the full farm down because that would be pretty brutal for us. But you guys are going to see here, look, they boost their attack damage. And I'm thinking my best fast move is going to be with my Cacturne. But their fast move is double super effective and boosted. Look at that damage that they just got off. That's insane. So let's see what we want to do. We do sneak that move through, so we get the KO here. But I've got to get out immediately because that wing attack would have KO'd us. And they've got a Crobat in back, which is great for our Mewtwo. But we just don't have enough in the tank anymore to take out this Pidgeot. I think I could have probably farmed up a little bit more if I wanted to. But we needed to have the Dynamic Punch banked on the Cacturne, which was just not possible given how much damage those boosted Fury Cutters did to us in this game. So this is actually Mystic Chem's win in this set. And then again, I think it would have been a much more even matchup if I didn't just keep winning that random switch that we had. But those were really, really fun battles, and I think perfect, right, for this Throwback Thursday number 5/subscriber special of hitting our first video to 1,000 views and hitting, over 170 subscribers. Again, huge, huge shout out to the Shadow Hub and Jamie Finn for shouting me out on his channel and bringing so much attention. Really, really appreciate all of y'all, and I love the support that we've been seeing on the channel. Hoping that I can keep it up, and I'm really, really excited for more league rotations to come in that we don't have to do that are Love Cup or the Master League or Ultra League. Although, like I said, I am building for the Ultra League, so watch out. Next time it comes, we'll be bringing some ultimate spice to that league. But yeah, that's it for this week's Throwback Thursday. Have a good night. Thank you. This is Yeti Up TV. Like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know what I should run in our next potential subscriber special video. Thank you. Have a good night.